Tower of London, where history never rested. For more than 9 centuries, the Tower of London has stood beside the River Thames, watching empires rise, monarchs fall, and lives quietly disappear behind stone walls. It is one of the most visited landmarks in the world. Tourists walk its grounds every day. Cameras flash, children laugh. Yet beneath this normality lies a history so heavy, so violent, and so emotionally charged that many believe the tower never truly emptied of its past. This is not a fictional horror story. Every name you will hear existed. Every death you will hear about was real, and the fear came later. The Tower of London was built in 1078 by William the Conqueror, not as a prison at first, but as a symbol of absolute power. Its thick stone walls were designed to intimidate, to dominate, and to remind the people of England who ruled them. Over time, the tower became many things: a royal palace, a treasury, an armory, and eventually, a prison. But this was no ordinary prison. Those sent to the tower were not common criminals. They were queens, nobles, political rivals, and people whose only crime was standing too close to power. Inside these walls, executions were carried out in secrecy. No crowds, no mercy, no witnesses beyond those ordered to be silent. Many who entered the tower knew they would never walk out alive. One of the most famous figures connected to the tower is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, and was once one of the most powerful women in England. She was charming, intelligent, and ambitious, but power in the Tudor court was fragile. In 1536, Anne Boleyn was accused of treason, adultery, and incest, charges most historians now believe were fabricated to remove her. She was imprisoned in the Tower of London on the morning of her execution and walked calmly to Tower Green. Unlike common executions, hers was private. A skilled swordsman from France was brought so her death would be swift. With one strike, her life ended. But according to centuries of reports, her story did not. Guards, visitors, and even military personnel have claimed to see a woman dressed in Tudor clothing walking through the tower grounds at night, holding her own severed head beneath her arm. She never speaks. She never screams. She simply walks and disappears. And Boleyn is not alone. Another dark mystery tied to the tower is that of the princes in the tower. In 1483, 2 young boys, Edward V and his brother Richard, were placed inside the tower for their protection. They were heirs to the throne. They were never seen again. Years later, bones believed to be those of children were discovered beneath a staircase within the tower. No one was ever officially charged. To this day, historians argue over what happened, but the silence surrounding their fate has made this one of the darkest chapters in British history. Some visitors claim to hear children crying in certain parts of the tower late at night. Others report seeing small figures standing briefly in corridors before vanishing. Whether imagination or something else, the unease is undeniable. Throughout its long history, the Tower of London witnessed torture, betrayal, and fear on a massive scale. Sir Walter Raleigh, once a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I, was imprisoned here for 13 years. Lady Jane Grey, crowned queen at just 15 years old, was executed within the tower after ruling for only 9 days. Religious prisoners were held in darkness. Political enemies disappeared quietly. And with each death, another layer of trauma was added to the stone. Modern paranormal researchers often say that places marked by intense suffering may retain emotional echoes. The Tower of London fits that description more than almost any other place on Earth. What makes the tower especially unsettling is not just the stories, but who reports them. Some of the most chilling accounts come from the yeoman warders, also known as the beefeaters. These are not tourists. They are trained military personnel who live and work at the tower. Over the years, several have described unexplained experiences. Sudden drops in temperature, unseen hands touching their shoulders, footsteps echoing in empty corridors. One guard famously fainted after reportedly encountering a ghostly figure during night duty. Official explanations vary: stress, fatigue, old buildings settling. But the consistency of reports across centuries is what keeps the mystery alive. Even skeptics admit that the tower has an atmosphere unlike any other historic site. There is a weight in the air, a sense that something has been absorbed into the walls. Visitors often report feeling uneasy without knowing why. Some experience dizziness. Others feel watched. Many leave with the same sentence on their lips: something felt wrong. Historians argue that the human mind responds strongly to places of known tragedy. When we know what happened somewhere, our imagination fills the silence. But imagination alone does not explain why people who know nothing of the tower's history report similar sensations. The Tower of London is not marketed as a haunted attraction. There are no jump scares, no actors, no staged effects, yet it remains one of the most commonly reported haunted locations in the world. Perhaps that is what makes it disturbing. The horror is not forced. It waits quietly. As night falls, the tower closes to the public. Lights dim, footsteps fade. The same walls that once echoed with screams return to silence. But silence does not always mean empty. Some places do not let go of what they witnessed. Not because of ghosts, but because history itself refuses to rest. The Tower of London stands today as a monument to power, fear, and consequence. A place where ambition cost lives, where loyalty was punished, where secrets were buried deeper than bodies. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one truth remains undeniable. Thousands suffered here. Many died unjustly, and their stories never truly left. Some places don't need spirits to be haunted. History is enough.